All right, everybody, settle down. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Second Shout Studios Constructive Crit. Welcome to the world of the big and the small. I am going to turn this all over to the amazing Zach, my lovely fiance, who will be running the game for us tonight. Thank you so much, Zach. Take it away for us, please.
Hello, is everyone ready to get started in our little adventure?
Yay!
Well, awesome. There is going to be another little appearance from someone later on. Our good friend Dirge will be joining a little bit later, but that's all right. And we're just going to open up our story in a little world not too different from our own. There are trees sprawling out in wide expanses, great grassy fields roll into massive ongoing hills. Ponds and lakes sit idly with their waters gently splashing at the edge. But unlike our world, there are no humans in this world. There's no large cities or small rural towns, well, not like the ones we're used to. No, this world is actually ruled by small woodland creatures that scamper about the forest floor. Many creatures from the largest and mightiest badgers to the small but bravest of mice live in this world in their peaceful little towns. These towns are filled with small homes built in the trees, hills, even the ground itself in burrows. The treetops have numerous buildings built along the branches and into trees' cores where guardsmen, bird folk, and some of the more well-off creatures live. The town we find ourselves in today is a fairly sizable town of Manus. Spring has just sprung, flowers have begun blooming, and the ground is still a little muddy and a little damp from melted snow, and the streets are fairly populated with merchants and townfolk going about their day-to-days. But our camera doesn't focus on the streets or even the ground. It's actually fixated on a small lift carrying a group of pretty well-equipped adventurers up into the treetops. There's a large badger kind of minding his own business, operating the lift, keeping pretty quiet. And with him are a group of friendly little creatures. Would you guys all like to go around and describe what your characters look like?
Sure.
Starting with whoever.
My character is Riga. She is a raccoon who is head to toe in the brightest, just rolled out of a circus kind of outfit that you've ever seen. You're not sure why she's here, because she doesn't look like an adventurer. She looks like a circus performer, a clown perhaps. She's just got this like stick that she's twirling and trying to make people laugh. Yeah, she's just being silly.
Thank you, thank you. Anyone want to go next, describing their character, maybe what they're doing?
Next to Riga, starkly contrasting the energy that Riga brings to the studio on this lift is a starkly brilliant blue jay that always seems to be carrying this intense amount of tension in his body. He's always either clenching his feathery blue fists in some way, twiddling his thumbs, shaking his legs, and if you catch him in the slightest moments, he is most of the time engaged in this 1,000-yard stare, imagining what, thinking about what, who knows. But he carries a rapier at his side, and he just comes across as this driven individual that is there for one purpose and one purpose only. And if you try to look at him for any extended periods of time, imperceptibly, it seems like there's something about his body or something that he wears, beneath, beyond the cloak that he has over his head, or the shoulder pads, bearing the mark of the raven deity of Folion. There's something beyond it that you can never quite catch a solid glimpse of him being stationary. You just don't know what.
Cool, very awesome. Anyone want to go next? Anyone at all?
I can. Damn, Kyle. All right. Yeah. Buchanan is a kind of middle-aged, kind of husky badger who has kind of scruffy work clothes. Not that they're not taken care of, they're just very well worn and well loved. Carrying an axe with him, as the foliage in the area that he typically lives in is a little bit harder to traverse, so he never wants something impeding his path. Many of his friends call him Buck, but he also goes by his full name of Buchanan, and he is very much a quiet observer as he operates this lift.
Great. Also, there's a different badger, kind of like a lift operator, kind of working on this. So there's actually 2 badgers on this lift.
Double the badger.
Emilio or Kyle, would you like
Kyle
to
has
describe
go
your
next for
characters?
making that joke.
That was not a crazy thing to say. I don't understand. Okay. Anyways, all right. So you see a teeny tiny little shrew. Imagine every orphan in any like Victorian era story. That's what he kind of looks like. Ratty clothes, super threadbare, but he has a flower as a hat. He has a few odd little weapons tucked into random places. His tail is sort of wrapped around a sword. And this is Milo.
He's so adorable. And of course, last but not least, Amelia, would you like to describe your character?
My character is Tink. He's a feather tail glider. They are a little tiny man with a massive hammer. In standard adventuring attire, the leathers, the eye patch for reasons. And yeah, they're just amped.
Thank you. Yeah, so this lift kind of keeps rising. It's a pretty long lift ride. It's still, of course, hand operated by this other quiet badger who's not really like made eye contact with anyone else, as he kind of hauls it up with chains. Oh my god, my cat. Hold on. My freaking cat.
Desperate scratching. It's our cat trying
Damn
to
you.
get between our 2
Choose a
rooms.
room. Choose a room. All right, so this badger is just kind of pulling on these chains, yanking you guys up as you guys reach the tops of these trees. To some of you, it's a rare sight to be up in these treetops. Maybe some of you it's the first time. Some of you might be a little more familiar with it. It's pretty noisy up here with the many birds that like to sing through the trees. And the many guards folk that kind of have different kind of riders. Rather it's atop birds that are armored, or even some dragonflies that are armored. But you are not here to sightsee. You are here for a job. Specifically, meeting with the captain of the guard in the large guard's tower that is in this kind of center tree that you guys have all ridden this lift up. And it is just down this branch that you see the entrance to this large building carved into the tree. What would you guys like to do?
I'll tip the lift guy a couple silver.
He kind of just like takes it and like looks at it and looks at you. And he just kind of starts closing up the lift and starts going down.
Have a lovely day.
You kind of hear another like muffled.
Can I try to pickpocket the silver that she just gave him?
Yeah, give me a
This is an excellent
give me a sleight of hand check.
Yay.
Oh, God.
All right, I rolled a 9, so 20.
Oh my god!
I gotta go.
Dog, he rolled an 18. That they, you
So close,
just
actually.
beat it. Do you want to describe what happens as this silver is put into his pocket as he begins to go down?
Like, almost as soon as his fingers leave his pocket, Milo's shoving his teeny little hands in there and just running them, and then he looks up at him with his big ol' eyes and acts cute and then skitters away.
Yeah, you watch him as he leaves, completely oblivious, even though he's got a really fucking good roll, completely oblivious to the fact that he just got robbed. As you watch this badger begin to lower to the ground. You have two more silver than you already had.
Yay!
Indigo kind of takes a moment to just ruffle his feathers. And he says, "Oh, I'm not used to being in these civilian lifts. I'm used to being in the air. Not used to being in tight, cramped spaces. How can I expect to find my father's killer under these conditions?" He just kind of waits, tapping his feet, waiting for the group to make a decision on where to go, where we need to be.
Those are some lofty expectations for a lift. I think if we go into the guards' quarters, we can learn a little bit more about why we're here.
Regardless, yelling never made anything happen faster, son.
It's true. He just kind of acquiesces and just kind of crosses his winged arms.
As you guys kind of stand there, from it's still kind of a distance from the guards tower. There are two guards standing posts that are just kind of like staring at you guys, just kind of like watching y'all, not like mad dogging y'all, but definitely like, well, these guys loitering over here. Is a little mole and a fairly large jackalope watching you from a distance. They're not saying anything. They're kind of just like staring at you guys, kind of like, I don't know if you guys ever watch just like people standing outside if you're working somewhere, just watching someone standing outside your shop, like, what are these guys doing?
Indigo just kind of shoots them a look back and just meets the intensity and eye contact that they're making towards us.
You definitely see like the mole start to like kind of like sweat as he kind of like averts his gaze a little bit. Dirge!
Hey,
Welcome, Dirge!
Welcome. Perfect timing.
Dirge is in the chat.
Yes, I have arrived.
Hello, Dirge!
I would just like to briefly make the biggest shout out in the world. If you love the little art that you can see over here on the left-hand side of our characters, not Zach's, all the rest of them, that is all Dirge. Dirge made those beautiful, amazing pieces of art, and the lovely bard colored them in. So let's take a little round of applause for the best artists in the chat.
Honestly.
Oh, shucks, you don't have to do that.
We love you guys. Thank you.
The art is amazing. So many people have reached out and have been like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this." So good.
Alright, anyway.
So anyways, the mole kind of averts his gaze away from you, but you definitely see the jackalope kind of meet your gaze, and like it's almost just like a staring contest. It's like he sees it as a challenge. He kind of like, he doesn't glare, but you see the squint of like, I see you.
I'm gonna wave to him overtly. And just be like, just not saying anything, just smiling and waving.
Indigo just very slowly starts to take out his rapier to meet the challenge, not to directly start a conversation, but just
Buck
to
immediately puts his hand on top of his hand and puts the sword back in the sheath.
I'm gonna roll an insight check. All right. He sees your game. Real respects real. You kind of see him just like kind of two-hand the halberd in one of his hands, but like it's not a threatening way either. It's very much just like a, I see you. And they're again, this is like from a distance. This is like 30 feet away.
So guys, do we know why we're here?
I think if we go into the guardmaster's office, we can find out.
Okay.
Let's go.
And Riga will, as though like being the baton twirler at the beginning of a parade, swirling her quarterstaff, will lead people where we need to be going.
As you guys, yes.
Quick question. How is the airspace in the tree tops here? Is there like a way that Indigo could take flight and just like kind of like short distance, like maybe 10 feet above the party, just kind of glide?
Oh, yeah. Yes, there's a plenty of space, especially around this larger tree. There are a lot of kind of like there's a lot of aerial like guards already kind of flying around a tree and doing their rounds. But there's plenty of room, especially above this one kind of center tree. It's kind of one that grows into like 3 different like sections. Like it starts from one bottom and it grows into 3 different sections of the tree. So there's a lot of space around it. So you can easily kind of do this small kind of glide hover above the ground.
So then Indigo is going to kind of shrug off his cloak and just flap his wings and take flight over the party, providing aerial support for the migrating.
As you guys kind of make it over, the jackalope will kind of hop forward. Just, you guys got business here?
We were called to help with the crisis?
Ah, yes, the adventurers, right. He'll kind of look over to the mole and nod, and the mole still kind of looks afraid of now the flying bird above them, as he kind of like shakily kind of turns and pushes open the door for you guys to enter.
Thank you,
Oh, because
good
moles
sir.
are afraid of birds.
This mole's also just afraid. And as you guys enter, you see a resplendent building, again, carved into this tree, but there are light sources within. And it is a fairly large building, and you can easily see there's a larger room kind of up some stairs that takes you right to the captain of the guard's office, who you believe will be able to assist you on your current job that has been posted that you are all here for.
Going up to the guard, I would like to extend my hand and just go, "Hi, nice to..." Sorry about that lump in my throat. Hi, I'm Tink. Nice to meet you.
The jackalope kind of like looks a little afraid, and then looks more afraid as he extends the hand and kind of like meets yours. Nice to meet you too, buddy. It's a pleasure.
So why are we here?
Let me take you up there as the jackalope kind of hops his way up the stairs and kind of leads you all to the captain of the guard's office. As he kind of pushes open the door, you see the captain of the guard, a fairly rugged toad. He's been in office or been in this kind of position for a while. After he took up after a mouse guard a couple of years ago, and you see him kind of finishing up a conversation with another mouse. Dirge, would you like to introduce your character?
Yay!
So, for your character, you'd be in this office with the captain of the guard. He's kind of been relaying you all the stuff I already sent you, kind of giving you a mission briefing, and he's just like. And as he's kind of finishing up this this conversation with you, he's kind of just like almost just about finishing up, just like I should be having some more people come in. As the door kind of opens up, and you see a fellow guard that you know fairly well. His name is Ernest the jackalope, and behind him are this group of kind of ragtag adventurers. I don't know if any of you would know any of the guards, or if you are major townsfolk, but you do see a prominent figure along with the captain of the guard. Dirge, would you like to describe your character?
Yes, my character is more or less a field mouse, clad in standard attire. He is a knight and a ranger of Manus, or Manus. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Or how it was pronounced.
You got it.
Yes. And he comes from a lineage of protectors of the city, village, and overall, I guess, kingdom of Manus. So he's a very diligent folk. He is also a wielder of a great sword, which is uncommon for a creature of his stature, but he is also an exceptional guardsman and ranger. He was gifted a particularly special sword from the blacksmith of the Sky Temple, and he's got a lot of good credits to his name for protecting Manus.
Anyone here would probably know that, while not captain of the guard, Jariem, Dirge's character, is a fairly well-known figure amongst the guards as a kind of town guardian. As the captain of the guard, Dario, kind of turns to see you all. I suppose you guys are all the adventurers called upon us?
That would be us.
As Riga takes off her, like, ringing bell jester hat and does a couple swoops with it into a dramatic bow.
Indigo just kind of storms to the front, sticks out his winged hand at the guard. Hello, my name is Indigo Manjaya. It has been 6 years, 7 months, 3 weeks, and approximately 18 minutes since my father was brutally murdered, and I am looking for his killer. Nice to meet you.
the captain of the guard kind of just looks at you, all right, as he kind of like slowly takes your hand and shakes it. So, you guys are a colorful bunch. I hope you guys will be able to help us. We've been having some problems in town. About 4 days ago, our guardian of our town, Orius, the owl, went missing. He tends to patrol the skies from the north to south at night and fends off any wayward dangers around town, any monsters or beasts. He lives in a oak tree, center of a field, about 2 miles away from here. There's no signs of any fight anywhere. There's no signs of any issues in his home. We couldn't find anything out of the ordinary. He just disappeared. We're not sure exactly why he would have veered off his normal course, or where he would have gone. A group of night riders were sent out to find him. And Jariem, you know, night riders are fairly trained mouse warriors that ride moths through the night. Kind of like a black ops, like elite group of guardsmen. They were sent out to search for him. Oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
Aye, Captain, they are some of the best.
Yes. They are our strongest, but as of their flight, we have not heard anything of them. It was about 2 nights ago.
In fact, we would go as far as to say that there is not a single trace of them. Many of the guard, including myself, are very concerned about the status of them and the status of Orius.
Yes. So, I have enlisted you all, as well as, and he kind of nods to the mouse next to him, Jariem here. I am asking you all to go out and help us with this problem and find our guardian owl and bring our soldiers back. I have payment.
Jariem puts a paw to his chest and says, "It would be an honor to serve and protect the kingdom of Manus. And this is a good group of people, albeit ragtag. I have met many of them on my journeys.
Good. And your words kind of soothe him. You've definitely seen him in like days of stress, but like you can tell like today he is holding himself up. But like Jariem, you can easily see that he is worried and that his body is tense. But knowing you and seeing you still hold yourself up kind of eases his conscience. I'll leave you to it. I will point out here, and he'll kind of pass you a map of the town, and he'll show you the path that Orius generally flies around at night for to follow. And if you need directions, I can also perhaps send you towards his homestead, but we couldn't find anything there.
There is none who know the trails better than I, Captain. I trust that I will be able to assist you on this matter.
Good. He'll kind of look to the others. Is there any questions I can help you with before I send you out?
So did these night riders, they went missing without any form of us being able to reach out to them? It is my understanding that they have disappeared along with this town guardian as well.
Yes, they usually have ways of magic to reach back out to us, but we have heard no word of them, and we have not seen them anywhere.
It is usually with magic or some form of correspondence with other path rangers that word will reach back to us, and yet no rangers have heard anything.
What was the last that we heard of this Night Rider gang, so to speak? What was the last known communication that we had with this group?
About 2 nights ago, when they first sent out, was the last time any of us saw them. They flew out at night, followed his path. We don't know what happened to them en route.
There are words amongst the barracks that there was reports of one correspondence indicating that nothing had been found yet, but that has not been established as truth or reality.
Dirge, do me a favor. Roll me on off your character sheet. Roll me a history check with advantage. I think I have you on advantage.
There we go.
You got a natural 20, which is the best you can roll.
Yo,
that's
That is the
crazy.
first roll of the game.
One hell of a
Alright,
first D&D roll.
First ever D&D
So,
roll. Yeah.
With that roll, Jariem, you would know, as you're kind of thinking about it, because they asked, what have you heard about them? What was the last time you heard from these guys? And you're like, well, we haven't heard anything of them. The only thing we've heard is the fact that we haven't heard from them. But you have, think about that, you have heard rumors in the Guard that there have been sightings of rats. You haven't seen any skulking around town, but you have heard some rumors that rats have been kind of closer to the town than usual. You're not sure if this is paranoia or just kind of people starting rumors to get people freaked out, but you have definitely heard tell of rat sightings around town.
All right.
And you can relay that to other people however you feel.
So, I as my character, Jariem, I will say that for the most part, for the time being, and this is me in my head, I am keeping most of that information to myself, as it's not, again, just like with the rumor of that there was one correspondence from the Night Flyers. It's still largely rumor and it's not fact, but I am keeping diligent note that it's at least been noted, because of course that is not something that guards or rangers play around with.
Yes.
But I
Alright.
will give a word of warning to all of the party members that there may of course be many dangers on this journey to find Orius and to be prepared.
They live for the danger.
You wouldn't know it by looking at me, but I've been in a couple scraps.
I mean, I
Looks
personally
like you've
love
been in more than
Orius,
a couple.
so
I was delivered with the same energy as I've shanked some bitches.
Kill the man.
I mean, accurate.
I love it.
The captain of the guard doesn't look too relaxed at all this, but he definitely is like, all right, cool, awesome. He kind of gives a nod. All right, I'll leave the investigation up to you, but if you need anything, you're more than welcome to come back to me.
One last question, Mr. Town Guard, sir. Where should we start our investigation? Any suggestions on where we should begin?
I'll make a roll for him. I am at a loss for these last 4 days. I'm worried about what might happen if I send more, but the only possible thing I could think of is following his path through town from the ground, seeing where it might lead him, and seeing if there's any offshoots. I did not go to his home, but I do wonder if perhaps there's something there, but I am not sure.
So we can either go to his home or we can follow his path.
I believe, as the ranger that I am, that it would be a diligent idea to investigate the home and see if we can find any contextual clues as to where he might be or what might have happened to him.
Especially since we went up a lift to get up here in the first place, so it wouldn't really make sense. Go all the way back down, and then come back up to check out his home. Let's go. I agree. Let us go to his home.
You do actually know his home is about 2 miles away from town, and you would have to go to the ground still for that.
Oh, 2 miles away. It's just 5 minutes.
Yeah.
By wind, of course. It's easy.
I know that my clothes are very baggy and ostentatious, but this isn't actually wings.
She holds out her arm and her poofy sleeves hang a little.
Yeah, it's just an arm. So I don't think most of us can go by wing.
Oh, wait. Is it my understanding that the rest of you cannot fly?
It's just you, friend.
It's just
I
me.
mean, I haven't tried before.
Don't.
He's gonna walk over to the edge and just
Milo,
grabs you by the collar.
Milo, give me an intelligence check.
Please
He's actually
fail.
pretty smart.
Please fail.
It's a flat intelligence.
Buck
He's
is ready at
perfectly
any
fine.
second to grab Milo by the collar and just.
Apparently, I have a
Yurian's
favorite
si-
number tonight.
Oh.
12.
You don't think you can fly, but there's something in your head saying you never tried.
And I was but a weak.
He doesn't go to jump, but he kind of lifts up his hat and makes the motion like he's imagining soaring down on his little flower as a parachute.
He's so
Yep.
cute.
Jariem side eyes at the captain and gives off a heavy sigh, like, oh boy, what am I doing for myself?
The captain returns the sigh and gaze as I'm sending these people to their death. And doesn't say that, it's in his head, but you get that message from him.
Yeah, no qualms that there's a literal child here. Also,
Yep.
It's fine.
I take his return stare as I may be the only one possibly returning home from this mission.
He kind of subtly puts a hand on your shoulders. Best of luck, son. He kind of gives you a pat and sends you on your way. Where do you guys head first? Or where would you like to head first?
I
We're
I
going to
believe-
this treehouse, right?
I think the treehouse might make more sense unless we feel like there's some additional information, because that we could get from retracing the garden steps. But I defer to the group in terms of what we want to
There's
do.
also taverns around town. There's like 3 different taverns around town. You could try to get rumors.
I mean, they said that there was no evidence of foul play. Foul.
Give yourself inspiration. I like that.
Yay! We're rewarding this? We're rewarding this. Okay.
Yes. Welcome to Zach Games, baby.
If you give a mouse a cookie. Anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So there is no evidence of anything nefarious going on, like no abduction or struggle. But that doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't something there. You know, like just because there was no fight doesn't mean there's not evidence of something else going on.
Yeah.
Oh, you mentioned something about trying to pick up rumors from the townsfolk. Yes.
Yeah, we could go to the tavern.
Or I was
There's
going to
always a
say,
tavern.
would Indigo be aware of maybe Thieves Guild connections, perhaps? This world's equivalent of the Thieves Guild? within the
Give
city?
me. Yeah, give me. I will let this be a history, or I'll give almost like a retroactive investigation check from you being in town looking around. I'll let it be an investigation or a history check.
Okay.
Could I also do this as a thief / street
Yes.
urchin?
Oh yes, you can have advantage from how long you've been on these streets.
Oh hell yeah! I've been on these streets.
All right. So natural 12
Natural 20.
with a
Natural 20, and
I've
what
never
did you
been
get,
more
Joe?
afraid to
You
touch
said
my
I got a
dice.
natural 12 with a 0 on the die. Just a 0
No.
ability modifier. So
I thought you were gonna say. I thought you said a natural 12 with a modifier of 7. I was like, what?
no.
What are you? I know. I will say though, Indigo has seen some signs. Indigo hasn't seen anyone, but you have seen kind of markings here and there of of thieves' cant around town. Milo, you have tried to get in. You found your way to the burrow that is the Thieves Guild. You've actually dug your way in, but each time they're kind of just like, "Kid, go home. Go get out of here." It's like you're met with a mole that's just like, "Shoo, go." Very kind about it too. They're not like, "You get out of here." They're like, "You're a child. I don't want to see you die. Go home."
where is your mother?
But you do know where it is, and it is led by a Gila monster by the name of Jamestown.
Jamestown.
Have I ever traveled through this area before?
I will let that be a you choice.
Shit.
Or you know what? Give me a history check. Give me a history roll. Just a
Tragic. Good.
odds.
16. That's pretty good.
I was going for an evens number. You've been through this town, and I'll say with a 16, you've been through it twice. You've been in this town not for long, but you have shown in this town before.
Alright, so I'm a little familiar with the area.
If we wanted to go to the Thieves Guild, I do know where it is. But they won't let me in there by myself.
Oh.
That's a little concerning that you know where that is, but okay, we'll use it to our advantage.
It is okay, little. I believe in you. One day. I just kind of pat him on the head.
We could pose as your guardians to get you in.
we like
Yes.
like a family?
I mean, for like 10 minutes,
God.
sure.
Oh no!
Little
This will
boy,
die.
do you? Where is your father? Do you have?
Oh my god, no.
Oh no!
You know, like I at one point I did.
Listen, I know the unimaginable pain.
What if
it
we went
is
to the
have lost
tavern?
I'm okay with that.
Buchanan's just like, I need a fucking drink, dude.
Indigo just prattles on and on about war stories, about all the happy memories that he spent with his father that were then poo-pooed to dust when he then... And then, tragically, he was assailed, and now I've been trying to find the killer ever since.
Oh, I'm
Hey, Andy.
sorry. My dad's not dead though. I'm sorry that happened to you though.
Oh, I see. He just kind of... Sculpt. He kind of just...
He's gonna like try to reach up and pat him on the back now.
Hey, Andy, how old are you?
Sorry?
And
How old are you?
Oh, so, I am the equivalent of...
Well, this is asking in character.
Oh, I am 6 years, 7 months, 3 weeks, and however many minutes old.
When were you born, son?
I was born approximately 3 years before that.
that's fucked up.
Grow the fuck up.
Oh my god.
God damn.
Bard plays the most brutal characters in any game.
really
It's
do.
great.
I'm going to make a mental note on this besmirching of my honor. I will not forget this.
You guys are like walking through
You do
town
that,
and like
bud.
you just hear some like Andy like, oh, you don't know who it's from, but like there's definitely someone that heard that burn.
As you say you remember this, he's just like, I'm sure you will, bud. Like, pat you on the shoulder. Looks ahead.
So are you guys going towards a tavern, or do you guys want to
Yes,
go find a
please.
thieves guild? All right. You guys make it to a pretty close tavern. There's about 3 of them in this town, but there's a pretty large one that's actually not too far away from the tree that is part of the guards post, the guards barracks, called the Overfilled Pond. As it is not too far away also from the pond that is attached to the town of Manus. It is a pretty bustling little tavern as you make your way in. There's a wide variety of creatures just kind of settling in, having drinks, laughing, sharing exchanges. You guys all kind of make your way in, and you see there is a creature running the bar. There's a little snake actually with these little kind of mechanical arms that are grabbing drinks here and there. As he is mixing some drinks and everything. He doesn't see you guys yet. He's a small little like a gardener snake. He's pretty little guy behind the bar, but you see his little mechanical arms are moving away as they grab drinks for people.
DM question.
Yes.
What constitutes as alcohol in a world where
You know, I was really
snakes-
thinking about that, like as you guys started walking in.
I mean, it's
Um,
alcohol.
Yeah, I was gonna say just like fermented berry juice.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say let's we can go by Redwall rules and we can say like cordial and we can say mead would probably be
Mead,
2
yeah.
big ones.
No, I'm
Yeah.
down with that. Yeah.
I bet there's like a sick alcohol. Alcohol made out of like hot pepper.
So sick, in fact, you almost choked.
Ooh.
Got
The same guy. He's in this tavern. Someone goes, ooh,
Are you following us?
but you don't know who it is.
Guys, that's the BBPG.
But yeah, you you guys make your way into the tavern. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna go straight up to the bar, take the 2 silver I got from earlier, and slide it to the counter, and go, 1 drink, please.
The snake's like kind of like, moving very quickly. You see his little arms kind of whirring as they quickly grab drinks, and then they kind of slow as he kind of like fully turns his long serpentine body to look at you. He goes, "Can I help you, kid?"
I would like 1 drink, please.
Kind of the secondary eyelids of the snake kind of blinks. All right, and he like kind of like leans over and then grabs like this little bottle and pours it into a glass. It's milk as he kind of like hands it to you.
That's just right.
Jariem looks at the bartender and says, "Thank you, Jesus." Anyway, have you heard any rumors regarding the disappearance of Orius?
I am going to roll a little history check on that. Oh my god! Well, with a nat 20, thankfully with advantage because he rolled a second nat 20. That's cool.
I don't want to touch my dice.
I know that's.
Afraid.
You guys are gonna roll my monsters later. So he kind of thinks. You see the mechanical arms begin to kind of like start back up as they start mixing drinks. He's just kind of thinking, almost like subconsciously mixing drinks for people as they call out. I've not heard a whole lot, but I did hear about this one guy on the outskirts of town. It's not a townsfolk, some drifter, I guess. I think he's a kind of cloaked, maybe a mouse or maybe some kind of shrew. He was small, scampering about. People saw him kind of muttering to himself. Maybe they couldn't hear what he was saying, if he was saying anything, but he was on the kind of the northwest corner. That was kind of weird.
Buchanan just turns and looks at Tink.
Oh, I'm
Just
looking at
this
Milo.
whole time. This whole party doesn't
Pick
trust
a
each
different
other.
party member.
Jariem briefly shakes his head at the motion and then thanks the bartender. Also using some code language so as not to alert any listening ears and or the party, Jariem says, "Has there been any word of the trails?" To ask if the bartender if there has been any rangers that have made any indications of what they've seen out there regarding the rats.
He kind of like, as you kind of pull him in close, so like to like kind of whisper this in and kind of subtly do this. You see his expression kind of falls. No, sir, I've not seen anything happen. I've not heard any word of anyone. Just a normal guardsman in, but it's looking a little bleak.
I thank you for your services again, Miss Bartender. While I am here, you need anybody kicked out?
No, but I'll keep an ear out. He kind of like taps the bar for you, and then give me just a little persuasion check.
So
Go into your character sheet. There's a little option near history. Click on persuasion.
Yep.
This whole time, Buchanan's keeping his head on a swivel, seeing if anybody needs to be dealt with.
He kind of like, you definitely like see a small smile creep along his little serpentine face, and he kind of goes beneath the bar and pulls up a little flask, and he passes it your way. You have a healing potion that he's going to give you.
I pass the bartender a small wink, understanding, and a thank you.
I'm just going to put that into your character sheet so we have memory of it. Because I will probably forget, but I'll try not to. And whenever you're in combat or you're damaged, you can drink that and get a d4 plus 4 healing.
Understanding how like D&D works, like if either I understand, like, if I am damaged, but would I also be able to give it to a party member that may
Yes.
also be injured?
You sure
Cool.
can.
Cool beans.
And if someone's
And
knocked
yeah,
out,
that's
you
what
can
you.
pour it down their throat for them.
Yes,
Senzu bean, baby. All right, we're walking.
exactly.
Exactly.
Can I take a look and see if anyone is eyeing us suspiciously or like listening in intently to the conversation?
Yes, give me a perception check.
Oh, perception. Okay. Let's see. 13.
You kind of eye the tavern. You like meet a couple eyes, but they kind of like drop down. Like it's more of like they kind of see you looking at them, and then they kind of like look away. But no one seems to be kind of like watching you for a prolonged time.
Okay.
I have drawn
looks
a
like there's
small
anybody
crowd
here.
in the corner because I'm juggling.
Excellent.
And I'm listening out
anybody
for
look
like if
particularly-
anyone's talking shit or saying anything useful.
Indigo is at the end of the bar, and he's got 3 shot glasses lined up, and it's all of the little. They're all the sugar water that you would put in bird feeders. And he just goes boom, 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 pounds them down. Another round, bartender. Whatever that.
Indigo, give me a Constitution save.
That's a very sexy 7.
All right.
Sorry, it's a 9. It's a 9.
All right, you are feeling a little tipsy.
Oh, wonderful. Hits the spot.
Jariem approaches Indigo and places a paw on his winged hand and says, "Steadfast, brother, we may need you to fly."
His feathers. His feathers bristle at the feel of your hand on his shoulder. He's like, "Flying! Oh, what a wonderful idea! Let's go!" And he just starts barreling out of the bar.
I just clothesline him.
Give me a strength check. Buchanan.
Is it contested?
Yeah, you can contest it to try to like get through him. As he tries to close on you.
-1.
I'm a barbarian, dude.
Man, I wonder what Buchanan's is like.
I rolled a net 20.
Oh my! What is in the air tonight? What is happening?
Pretty close. It's pretty close. It's 3.
24.
Like a 3 minus 1 or a 4 minus 1?
4 minus 1.
3? Alright, Buchanan, would you like to describe you taking out this bird as he tries to drunkenly fly?
He literally just like he's sitting with his arms crossed and sees him start to run out and is also seeing the like tipsy sway thing going on and just kind of like palm out just makes him stop moving.
The Indigo makes contact with the arm, and his feathers just kind of bloom out and puff out in very comedic fashion, like a bird that had just hit a window pane, and he just goes, and he is unconscious. He's just on the ground.
Jariem approaches Buchanan. "I know you mean well, friend, but you gotta restrain yourself a little. Please pick him up."
I did palm out and he must be friend.
Hollow
I
bones.
go and pick him
Birds
up
got
over
hollow
the shoulder.
bones.
Putting the bird in bird brain tonight. This is great.
Jariem, you kind of hear like a whisper from across the bar as you see the snake kind of like be like, "Quite the group you got today, sir."
I turn my head to the snake and I give just the softest, most solemn head shake with my eyes closed before turning back to Buchanan.
You just hear a youch from the snake. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna ask what Tink is doing.
That's what I was actually literally about to say. Speaking of, where'd the shrew go?
He's in the rafters.
The shrew and I forgot. I forgot. I forgot Tink was the.
He's a flying possum, a little
Yes.
possum. Is Emilio here? Did he have to step away?
No, I'm here. I was just letting everyone.
Vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's Tink up to in this little tavern, this bustling tavern full of people?
Is there a menu?
There is a menu. There is a menu. This little snake will slide you a menu with a couple different food options and lots of drinks.
I would like to peruse this menu and lift up my eye patch, revealing that both eyes work, and I'm wearing it just for.
What are you?
I'm gonna look up fucking menu for this place. This snake will kind of just watch this happen with these wide eyes, just like, man, this is not how I thought today was gonna go.
Jariem, who nearly lost his eye in a battle and has a scar on his face, blinks absent-mindedly at the ludicrous thing he has just witnessed.
Noticing that Jariem has saw that, I quickly close and like, yep, nope, that lost it. Lost it a long time ago. Fermented berry juice, please.
I tell Tink that perhaps if he could, maybe he might be able to find some comestibles to bring along with us on our journey, for the road.
What's a comestible?
Tink nods, also not knowing what a comestible is.
That's right, I forgot I'm from the Sky Temple. It's food.
There's some they're like almost like burgers, but these burgers aren't normal meat. It's actually made out of bug meat that you can order here.
I would like to lean over to Milo and go, you think a comestible tastes good?
It doesn't sound good. But I do like bugs.
You look like the type.
Thank you.
Bugs are like that's a pretty average food in this kind of world. Is that there's a lot of bug meat that is eaten.
I'm imagining Stardew Valley bug meat.
Yeah, thank you.
Milo's
can
also
order-
gonna order some. I don't know how much money this small child has, but he's
Roll
gonna
me a D8.
D8. Ooh.
I'll with your
It's gonna be how many
pickpocketing skills,
calories
I'll let you have a pretty decent amount of money.
Yeah, that's a 1.
All right, you have 1 gold. I was like, you know what? This little guy's been stealing a lot. I'll give him some extra change. You have 1 gold. A bug burger is I don't know, 50 silver.
Yeah, Zach, how much is a bug burger in your
50 silver. I was not planning
5
this.
whole gold. Screwed.
No, it's just 50 silver. Is all it is.
That's 5 gold, Zach.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
What the French? Okay, fine. The 50
1 gold
50 copper.
1 gold is 10 silver.
Oh,
Hold on.
yeah.
Hold on. I'm trying to think of a pun between Wagyu and some sort of bug.
Wagyu.
Bug you?
Ooh.
Wagyu. 5 copper. It'll be 5 copper from you to get this
Okay.
get this bug burger. It's pretty mid. It's you know what? It's not that bad. It's a pretty nice pub burger.
It counts for protein.
Yeah.
Milo eats it in like 3 bites.
Oh my God.
Hungry boy.
It is an alarming sight to see this small shrew powerhouse. This like pretty beefy bug burger. Minus
Does
the
Milo
beef.
choke at all, or is it just gone?
It's just gone.
It's just gone.
While the others are doing what the others are doing, Jariem locates one of the tavern guards / bouncers to inquire if they have heard perhaps any information as well.
Yeah.
The bartender may not have heard.
You find a raccoon outside as he's kind of posted up as you ask him this, and I'm going to roll for him. All right, well, man, that's a whole 1 on that roll.
The dichotomy of the rolls
Yeah,
tonight.
there's been some big rolls and little rolls. He kind of shakes his head.
Might
Nothing
say we're
past
in
the
a-
ordinary.
You might
Go
say we're
ahead.
in a world of big and small.
Fuck.
Absolute
gotta
cinema.
go.
Roll the credits. You know what? Take another inspiration.
Yes!
No!
Stop.
I'm kidding.
Stop encouraging this.
All of a sudden, Buchanan breaks character and starts giving stone cold stunners to every character in the tavern.
I can't do that when I'm playing a high charisma bard. I'm not doing it as Buchanan.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jariem, the raccoon kind of shakes his head. Nah, the usual rabble, but nothing out of the ordinary that I've seen.
Fair enough. Thank you, kind sir.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
are
have
we
started
going
my
to
little
the-
show in the corners so that y'all can eavesdrop on people and I'm distracting them.
Oh, did we already eavesdrop?
I don't know if y'all have. I don't think y'all have.
I mean, if anybody wants to give me a perception check in this little tavern just to see if you can pick up on any chatter as this kind of small crowd has kind of.
Can I roll this perception check with disadvantage because I'm
Yes.
coming back
Yes.
into
As you kind of sit up from the floor.
I also would like to note that, being my character, I haven't made any decision to do that because being a town guard, no one's gonna talk to me unless I go back
True,
forward
you're
and try to.
calm.
Yeah. Yep. If you want, you can still make a perception to kind of eaves in if you'd like, but you don't have to. Again, also as a guard of would you want to? You know.
Would you like me to go ahead and do that as just a general, just keeping my ears
Yeah.
open kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, and that was a perception.
Yep. Perception check, please.
Can I use my passive perception instead of whatever I just
Oh
rolled?
my God!
Jesus Christ,
It's
what is
nat
going on?
20 that Dirge
Oh.
got.
Oh, Jesus.
I think
Alright.
somehow Dirge is good at D&D, even though it's just the rolling part so far.
Teach me your ways. As somebody who's been playing for years, how do you do it?
How do I do it? I think I've just got Stimpy charisma, like Ren and Stimpy. Hey Ren, I got another 20.
All right. Well, what did everyone else get? Because I know we got the 11 from Milo, a 20 from Jariem. What did everyone else get?
One die was a 19. That would have been a 20, but the other die, more importantly, was a 6.
Cool.
Yay!
So I got a 6.
Awesome. Were you looking around Buchanan, or were you kind of trying to control the rabble?
I'm not really I'm looking around, but I don't really have that in mind.
Yeah.
I did roll for shits and gigs and rolled a nat 20, but
Yo, what?
I don't know.
All right. Well.
But genuinely, Buchanan's not thinking about it. He's more is there anybody in here that wants to fight? I think it'd be kind of fun to scrap a little bit. That's where his brain's at.
Yeah. Alice, we can't hear you.
I rolled a 22 to be funny.
All right.
So basically, people are pissing themselves in this tavern.
Yeah.
They're all distracted.
I'm gonna do a little couple. I'm gonna do a couple rolls. All right. You guys all kind of have your ears open. Whoever does, is kind of just listening in on the crowd as this kind of just small merrymake is happening. You don't catch a whole lot out of the ordinary. You hear two rabbits kind of talking some drama, some family drama. You catch a oh, they were tree mates type of thing. But
Zach.
During Pride
During
Month,
Pride.
guys.
All right, inspiration to the DM.
let's go. All right. You don't get a whole lot, but you do catch a conversation that kind of catches your ear just because it resembles something that you've already heard as you hear like a group of three kind of off to the side. They're kind of just chuckling, talking about their days. You guys see that dude outside of town? Yeah, he's kind of weird. He had that weird cloak, I think. He was scurrying about the ground, something small. Some kind of weird noises. I don't think I ever heard him talk. I think I heard some kind of weird clicking, some weird noises. And the guy just kind of laughs. What was he doing? Just running around? Yeah, I saw him scuttle into the woods, going kind of northish. It's weird. But I have no idea if he was trying to say something or if he was just messing around. Maybe it's just some kids trying to play a prank in this kind of weird time. But it was odd. And it kind of clicks with whoever catches it. Everyone that rolled above a 15 catches this conversation as it seems kind of familiar to what the snake was kind of talking about.
The sneaky snake.
That sneaky snake.
Indigo snaps back to consciousness. I'm okay.
Welcome back.
Jariem says, "Friend, no more."
No.
I have a problem. I will check myself into rehab tomorrow morning.
And from here on out, you will be drinking water.
I was drinking water.
That wasn't water.
Regular water.
It ceases to be water if you add enough of the good stuff to it.
Ooh. The badger speaks wisdom.
Does north match up with the home or the flight path?
Yes. So as you saw on the map, and as Dario would have told you, that his flight path usually goes south through the town, along the eastern end, and then he flies back north.
Okay.
All right.
Riga will cartwheel out and start again leading the parade north.
Yeah, you guys start moving through town.
Milo's taking his glass of milk with him.
He puts in a little to-go cup.
Indigo is giving stink eyes to the bouncers and anyone remotely looking tough as he leaves. Like, he's also trying to scrap.
Give me an intimidation.
Yes! Alright. My first halfway decent roll. Intimidation, I have proficiency in. That is going to be a dirty 20.
Alright. Yeah, you kind of, like, the raccoon outside, that's kind of this bouncer of this place. He's a pretty large raccoon. He kind of sees you kind of like stumble out for a second. He's like, "Hey, careful, sir." And he goes to kind of like push you out of the way, and you kind of like puff up at him. And he's like, "Oh, okay."
As
And then I
Jariem
just-
leaves, go ahead.
Yeah, no. I would.
He gives the mad dog stare.
Yeah, that's it.
As Jariem leaves the tavern, he looks over at one of the tables near the door, spotting a fellow that has been trouble before. He kind of gives the guy a little look, does a little finger eyes thing as he exits. He says to the bouncer outside, "Let me know if he does anything stupid," and then keeps walking and following.
The raccoon kind of gives a little nod. the raccoon does have like the coloring of his face, the little mask kind of looks like sunglasses. Just so everyone knows, that's important.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Anyways, you guys start making your way north, heading north through town. You're kind of on the northern end right now, where the kind of like trees kind of in the middle, but it's kind of more towards the northern end as you guys kind of make your way towards the outskirts of town. Where do you guys want to head as you start reaching these kind of less populated areas?
Quick question.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I just wanted
go
to ask.
ahead.
I just wanted to ask. Do you want us? Are we just going to keep our perception roll for as we're listening, as we're walking through town?
Go ahead and give me another one as you start making your way through town.
Okay.
Can I get an aerial view and do like aerial recon in the less populated areas to see if I find any in the description?
How high up do you want to go?
I will go as high
The
as
treetops are about 100 feet in the air for you guys, and you have enough fly to get up there quickly and come down if you'd like to go to the treetops, or if you want to kind of stay in the middle ground.
What would the city line be? Like, I don't want to go like too high where it kind of defeats the purpose of me like not being able to see the feature, but like I kind of want to go the city line, like just above the city limits.
A good like 50, 55, 60 is kind of like that nice middle ground where you can kind of still keep an eye on everyone below you, but also have that sky view.
Yeah. I'll look for the description, the shrew that matches the description, and I'll look for anything else of note with this perception check.
Yeah, give me a perception check. Boom.
I did get a
8 and 1. Love to see it.
14.
14. 15.
I got an 8.
All right.
We're doing so good, guys.
19.
Ooh. You don't see a lot like walking through town as you reach these outskirts. Do you see a lot of people kind of just starting to disperse once you get more towards these outskirts? There's much less squabble, a lot like more just kind of like this kind of Buchanan kind of your kind of area where there's more kind of farmlands out here where there's a lot of like bug farmers out here. There is some crop farmers out here, kind of your home style where you feel a little more natural. As you guys start to come out of this kind of civilized area, and you all kind of look around. There doesn't seem to be very much off. And as you kind of exit town, you said you rolled a 19, Buchanan? What a coincidence, because you oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, might I say, not bad.
Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Give that guy inspiration. Buchanan, you are in your kind of natural state out here. You kind of know these woods pretty well as you've walked through here. This isn't where your farm is, but it is familiar to you in this kind of rural, less people, less noise, and you can definitely get more of a perception out here. As everyone's kind of looking around, no one really catches anything. Milo, you do see a really, really pretty flower that is like yours, but yellow. That's kind of jutting out a little ways away, like 30 feet away. But Buchanan, as everyone's kind of looking around, you catch kind of like a shadow kind of flip through the trees, not to tree lines, but on the ground, kind of like scurry about, something small. It's quick, and it looks like it's kind of going more into kind of the undergrowth. Looks like it's getting a little more into like the not actual town end, but you definitely clock something kind of scurrying about on the outside.
I pointed out, unusually critter-like behavior.
Is it in the treetops? He darted to
No.
the treetop?
It is.
No.
It is on the forest floor.
Oh, got it. So I'm still
Jariem perks up, and considering I rolled an 8, I just catch like a cloak wafting in the wind as it disappears behind a tree, and I go to investigate.
Yeah, as you guys go in to investigate, give me just a little investigation check. Do you go to look for this thing, You didn't much see a cloak, but you did see kind of just a shadow amongst the trees. But go you as you kind of move towards where Buchanan kind of clock this thing. Give me a investigation check.
Could I be helping?
Yeah. So roll again, Dirge, just to see if you get a better roll. Oh,
God
nice.
dang.
Wow.
Ranger going hard.
Yeah. You kind of like find your way out into this, with Buchanan's like kind of assistance, you find your way to where this thing was, where you kind of just clock the end of it. You easily see footprints, kind of scuttling off into the woods. Give me a. Go ahead and roll a nature check. That's good. You kind of look at these footprints, and you can easily tell these are bat footprints.
Bat?
You've seen these before. Bat.
I turn to Buchanan and I say, "What can you tell me about bat folk in this area?"
Give me a history check, Buchanan.
Ooh,
If you think you know.
that.
If you're like, I don't really know, then you can also just call it there. But
I rolled a 10, so I feel like it's like, oh, I have a neighbor. Good people. Good people.
yeah, you know
I
the
give
very
a-
basics that they are civilians in town. That's kind of all you know.
Yeah. It's hardworking folk.
I give a nod of understanding to Buchanan and more or less try to make an indication to Indigo, now that we're dealing with bat folk, to make sure he keeps an eye on the sky.
I catch the signal and I renew my route, looking trying to glean the skies for batfolk. Speaking of which, how is the visibility right now? Is it starting to look like dusk?
It is midday. It's not getting dark just yet. It is
Midday.
like about 3 o'clock, maybe 4 springtime. So it is kind of a little dusky, but it's not like sunset yet.
Once it gets to dusk, I want to start using the rapier
Yeah.
to kind of give me light throughout the sky, but I want to look for this batfolk that may be flying in the air.
Yeah, give me a perception check up there. Give me just another one, because I know you had kind of a passive going on, but
Yeah.
give me another one. Let you do this with advantage because you're in the air.
Ooh, let's go.
I'll give you advantage.
Yes. Both great numbers. 18 perception.
All right. You don't catch any bats as you're kind of flying through. Are you guys on the ground following the footprints?
Trying to.
Well,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, me and Buchanan sure are. I was also
Okay.
going to ask, not to cut you off, but
Yeah.
perhaps knowing that Tink is a glider, would he be able to assist in watching the skies a little bit as well, or at least the treetops?
Tink, you would be able to. You do know you can only fly for a certain amount of time. I will tell you, Tink, that, but you can fly for a while. Specifically, a minute.
Two pairs of eyes in the sky would prove useful.
You could also, because shrews are a small size as well as mice, a mouse or a shrew could ride atop Indigo if you so please, as long as Indigo would be okay with it. But
So Indigo identifies as either Indy or J. So if you guys want to prefer those nicknames for him, that is fine as well. But yes, I can get you sufficient altitude, and then you with your glider shenanigans can start flying. Yeah. If you signal me down, I'll just come down and I'll pick you up.
does anyone want to fly? I know Badger's a little too big, or else that'd be fucking cool.
I already
Visuals
had
hilarious.
stated,
And then,
that for depending on the scenario, that I would be more than willing to. But I'm saving that for more of perhaps like a battle scenario or
Yeah.
something.
And also, I imagine Jariem wants to kind of track the footprints ground base with Buchanan.
Excellent.
But if Milo wants to ride, or Tink, you're also a small-sized creature. If you would like to ride, because you can fly for about a minute for sustained flight, but then that's when your magic kind of gives out.
Quick question. So, have they relayed that it is a bat that we were looking for?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So then, if I actually speak a little bat, if anything happens, I can kind of not proficient, but anything happens, I can just let me know. Okay. All right.
I also speak bat, and while we will have Indigo watching the skies, having you as basically espionage will be very useful, Tink. So thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, then off to the skies that we should go then, huh?
Would you like to like ride atop Indigo, or would you like to fly on your own? Because you can fly for about a minute, and that'll give you some time in the sky, but you can only do that once per long rest. So once you use that, you probably won't be able to use it again.
I would imagine I'd like to ride atop Indy and then fly once I'm up there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will use the same perception check as you used before, Joe. Can you also give me a perception check, Emilio, from your character sheet?
I can.
Perception check, please.
Let's see. 10.
All right. And are you guys on the ground following these footprints?
Yes.
Awesome. So you guys kind of start to. Oh, yep. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Zach. I'll let you finish.
No, I was literally just gonna say, like, you guys start falling through the trees. You kind of feel that kind of those eyes above you, kind of watching the skies. Is there anything you'd like to add while you travel through?
I actually decided to. This is just a side note. I did a little Google search, and I look to Milo, and I say, Milo, you are a shrew. I understand you have a very good sense of smell. Would you perhaps be able to indicate to me anything about this fellow we're looking for?
I never tried. I could try.
Give me a perception check with advantage, with a kind of keen sense type of thing.
Gotcha. 16.
You don't clock a whole lot in the air as your little nose kind of twitches in the air, kind of looking for something. You don't clock a whole lot, but you do kind of catch something in the wind. Kind of the direction you guys are moving. You kind of catch the scent of something awful, like something that you've never smelled before, but it almost smells like old food, like food you wouldn't touch, like rotten, awful food.
Ugh. There's
But
something
worse.
There's something really gross the way we're going. That's all I got.
Thank you, Milo. That is something I scented too, and I just wanted double confirmation. And Jariem, with his knowledge of the ratfolk issue possibly, shall I roll a perception while we go through the woods, not only for
Yes.
our guy, but also to check for any signs of danger that may be nearby?
Yes, please. And while you're doing that, while you're looking around and moving along the ground, awesome, that's a 12. While you're along the ground, our sky recon, you guys are flying through these trees, kind of navigating through branches here and there, both kind of looking about. Tink doesn't catch a whole lot going through those trees. It's very much a little higher than you're used to, so you're kind of like a little enamored by the sights and the bird's eye view that you're getting here. But Indy, as you're flying through, you're kind of like looking at all the trees, looking at the ground, looking for anything. Not only do you catch the small being in the distance. You see this small little cloaked figure low to the ground, maybe 70 feet away from the group. A little more because you guys are in the sky, for you two, because you're in the sky, the triangle method. But about 70-ish feet away, not moving very fast, but you see he's low to the ground, crawling kind of slowly, that he's not too far away.
Okay.
And there's one other thing you do catch as you're flying through these trees, and that you do see that there is damage to some branches. You see some claw marks here and there. Very high up. It doesn't look like anything was like climbing up. It just looks like something was moving from branch to branch with claw marks and broken branches here and there.
I'm gonna do a what is it called when the jet flights go really low over like the football stadiums? What is that called?
Oh shoot!
Flyby. Yes, I'm gonna do a quick flyby over the party, maybe just like 10, 15 feet above their heads, and I just say, "Hey, suspicious individual, 3 o'clock." Or sorry, that's not how time works. 12 o'clock.
In this world, it goes 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1, 2, 4.
And since I have a 50 foot fly speed, I think I can 50 foot. Since I have a 50-foot fly speed, I'm just gonna zip by the party, and I'm just going to rapidly meet this individual before he gets too much further.
You can easily, as you guys all watch him kind of fly down and then fly off. Emilio, you're like holding on for dear life as this bird suddenly takes off. Your little kind of feet are dangling in the wind. You get close and you can see it's a small little bat that kind of looks back at you, and you see his eyes grow in fear as this fucking giant blue jay is flying at this thing full speed. And he starts skittering really fast. He's not flying. He skitters as you kind of catch up to him. Is there anything you want to do when you reach him?
I'm just going to I'm gonna do this super badass kind of superhero landing type deal to cut him off so basically I'm gonna jump right in front of him, and with Elminster just strapped to my back, I'm just going to draw my rapier and try to hold him in place.
Yeah, give me an intimidation.
Oh, that's not very intimidating. It was like a 7. So I go to get I try to do the super badass superhero landing. I stumble. It's not how I rehearsed, and then I go to try and pull the rapier out of my sheath, and it gets caught on something as I try to.
The bat still looks pretty startled. He kind of jumps back and crawls backwards a little bit, and he starts clicking very quickly at you. This is kind of bat speech. In Emilio, because you speak a little bit of bat, begin catching some of it. As I want no trouble. I don't want any trouble. I just look for food. I'm just making my way through. Please, I don't want to get hurt.
He said something about wanting trouble, I think. Something hurt.
Really want trouble?
I imagine he starts crawling kind of back as the rest of the party kind of starts rushing him from the other side, and he turns and he's looks frantic.
Let me see if I could communicate in his tongue.
I don't know what's happening.
It's echolocation. It's echolocation. Don't worry.
As Jariem approaches, he starts to slow his run, holding his paw up. Stop. Just hold him. And I will approach the bat. Do you want me to? What do you want me to roll to listen?
You can just approach him. You don't have to roll anything. As you kind of see him kind of turn towards you, he's shaking a little bit. He has his wings kind of wrapped around him. I don't want any trouble, friend. I just want food. I'm so hungry.
Utilizing the knowledge that I have from the Sky Temple school, in bat, I say mostly easy, no harm, to reassure him we're not here to hurt him.
He kind of like glances around at the rest of the group. Just, all of you, no harm?
I give a nod.
It depends. Where were you approximately 6 years, 7 months, 3 weeks, and 2 hours ago?
Jariem eyes Indigo and gives a throat cut motion. Stop.
He kind of just gives the started look, but he maintains his eye contact with the bat.
Let him cook. The bat kind of like eases at that, like seeing you just like a much more like kind of calmer face to this, even though he's still kind of surrounded. He still kind of looks a little like freaked out. I smell. I follow scent. I have many food for a couple days. Many food near here.
Jariem kneels to get more to the bat's level, and asks the bat, what is it you're following or scenting? I pick up that he's talking about fruit, but I'd like to know more.
You kind of like start thinking like fruit, and he goes, yeah, food nearby. The bodies, they are close.
Sorry. Bodies? Did I hear that right?
So startled
What?
you forget your voice. I love it.
He kind of turns like imagine kind of Urium's kind of translating the best he can out to the group, because he's not the bat isn't speaking, so to speak. The rest of you are hearing just like these clicks kind of like come from his throat. No actual like common language is coming out of him, but these kind of clicks. He seems to understand each of you when you speak common, but he doesn't seem to have the ability to speak it himself. But I imagine kind of Urium kind of interprets. Sorry,
well,
Alice.
I was going to say before I reiterate, I ask, what bodies?
Give me a little history check, Urium. It's not a high roll. You start to think, and you know that there are many bats out there. There are fruit bats, most common, but you know there are some bats that feed off of blood. Not like aggressively, like predatorily, but they do require blood to live. As you kind of like start to think about it, the bodies, they are near that large bird. Ripped them apart. I've been living off them for a couple of days. Easy meal for Barbie.
I give a nod. I look to the rest of the group and I say, I let them know that that the bat has located some bodies of deceased critters, and I am going to ask for a little more information.
Did you relay the crucial detail that it was a bird? That it was a giant bird?
I have not yet done that because I want to know more first. Because I am aware something big would have to do that, but I want to know before I alarm my party, natural causes, predator, or why. So I ask the bat, how or what killed this bird in bat speak?
I'm just gonna roll real quick. Just Oh, you mishear. No, bat, Barbie, see, bird, kill creatures. Bird fly down and kill, claw and rip apart creatures. The rats. He kills rats.
Jariem gives a firm nod, then asks, just for a little more clarification, if the bat knows what kind of bird.
Let's see if he knows birds. Big big bird, armored, gray feathers. I didn't see close. Big wings, big winged
Should-
bird, and yeah. Go ahead.
I
You
was
go
go-
in first.
I was going to ask, you want me to give a history roll to see if I would
Yeah,
know if he's describing Orius?
I will say you don't even need to make a roll. Like when he starts kind of describing it, you can easily put together. Orius has really large, like kind of like he's a barred owl, not a barn owl,
Right.
a barred owl,
Right.
with gray feathers,
Okay.
all over his body, with like these almost like silver. His are a little more silvered than you'd see in a modern day barred owl. And you, when he says armored, you kind of instantly clock like he's usually fairly armored when he flies through town.
Okay. I look to the rest of the party and I say, you all need to listen. We need to stick together. This bat has just informed me that not only has he most likely encountered Orios, but there are rat folk nearby. We're in very serious danger, and we cannot afford to be split up. Indigo, I would like you to resume keeping an eye on the sky. Don't try any of that Superman shit again. You are too drunk still. And I don't need you hurting yourself.
Don't worry, I am a seasoned veteran when it comes to dealing with rats.
Yes. And for the rest of you,
Did the rats
please
take down
be
Orius?
I do not know. It sounds like there may have been a fight. But it appears that Orius, based on the description, may have been the victor or got away. But we will have to investigate this further once we get to the location of... Wait, no, I'm sorry, I'm losing track. They found a large bird's body, correct?
No, he's described that you had it right the first time, that Orius had some kind of encounter with these rats, and what he described from it sounds like
there are rat
slaughtered
corpses.
them.
Right, there's rat corpses. Okay.
Yep.
So continuing, there was a scuffle. There are some dead rat folk. We are going to let this bat take us to the rat folk, and we will gather information based on what we find at what is the crime scene.
The camera kind of comes back to you all following this small bat as he skitters across the ground. You see him kind of... His skitter's a little off, and it doesn't take very much to notice that you can see that one of his wings is actually broken as he skitters across the ground in front of you guys.
Gonna be Zach.
Oh, go ahead. Yes.
Because I noticed specifically the fact, that there were the claw marks on the branches and he fell to the ground. Would it be I wanted who is speaking to the bat in bat language earlier?
Jariem was. Yep.
Jariem. Yeah. I was wondering if I could ask the bat through Jariem if he would prefer to fly on my back to the location, to the site, so we're literally not all just watching this injured, limping animal try to
he's not struggling, but he definitely doesn't look like he's doing great, but he's healthy. He's just, his wing isn't what it used to be.
And then I want to ask Jariem, after you finish I didn't want to cut you off of your DMing, Zach. So if you want to finish the settings, please do.
No, that's basically it. You guys are all kind of beginning to follow him. I'll say that we kind of just come back after the conversation where Jariem, you asked him to have the bat bring them to the bodies.
Okay. And I want to ask,
go ahead,
through Jariem, what happened to his wing?
Because I noticed that it seems like his wing was injured, and I couldn't help but notice that he might have had some sort of crash landing to where we found him. So I was wondering if you could maybe relay or ask the message to our little bat friend.
And I give a nod to Indigo, but I wanted to ask the DM, based on my
Yes.
own observations, can I determine on this bat whether or not the injury is fresh or if it's old?
You can tell. Give me just a base. Go to your sheet and roll a medicine check for me. Just like a base one. It's not a very high number you gotta meet. It's not very high. You make it. Just with your knowledge of damage from any kind of battles or just seeing guardsmen getting pulled from battles and coming with damage, you can easily see there's no fresh cuts or breaks, and it doesn't even look like the last couple days. This might have happened maybe a couple months ago. It looks like it's something that he broke his wing and it just hasn't healed right because he didn't have the proper magics or medicine to make it heal correctly.
So, more or less, what I'm gathering visually is that it's probably healed over, but incorrectly. So any immediate medical attention is probably not necessarily unnecessary, but wouldn't do much.
Exactly. It wouldn't hurt, especially with some of the clerics that you know of in town. Clerics are like these kind of magical healers that are, they have kind of magical means to heal. It wouldn't hurt, and honestly, with time, they could probably heal his wing back. But it's not something that needs addressing. It's not something that he's going to die from in the next couple of hours. It's definitely something that he can continue going on with. But you can definitely tell that he cannot fly in this state.
Okay.
Like a physical
This is
therapy
good.
thing, not an ER thing.
Yeah.
This is good because if it was fresh, I was going to ask if Buchanan would maybe gather herbs for a poultice and make a sling. This is great. Now, following Indigo's request, I do ask in the very little bat speak that I can muster, how it was that he broke his wing.
Oh, while ago, I fly through trees at night. I was looking for a meal, and other birds at night. They bully me. They bully Barbie, and they send me to the ground, because they thought it was funny, and they hurt me, and I crashed through trees, and I break wing, and I cannot fly anymore.
I look
Feel
over
bad.
over at Indigo with half-lidded eyes, and I just mutter, "Sparrows." I
just
keep a
nod.
note of. I keep a note of this, so that once we are at location, I may reward our bat friend with some information and a resource to get some help.
Yeah. And he'll kind of look to all of you.
Do you want me? Do you want Barbie to bring you two bodies now?
I give him a nod.
Okay, I lead. You stay close.
And you see him kind of start to skitter towards the woods, nice and slow, so you guys can all follow. Do you guys all just follow along through the trees?
I'll scout ahead, in the air with with my flying buddy, if he so chooses to join me.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Yep. You guys kind of fly ahead while you guys stick with the bat, if that's cool with everyone else.
Yes, and before Indigo takes off, I ask him to note and watch for any living rats that may or may not be nearby.
I just kind of nod, and with understanding, So am I carrying the bat on my back now, or am I following the bat?
You have Tink with you right now.
I have Tink with me. Great. I want to just kind of scout. So I want to just approximate the general direction of where he's going to go. And I want to scout ahead if there's anything of note. And then, I want to do this kind of cycle where I go a little ahead, try to figure out, predicting where he's going to go. And then I'm going to kind of loop back to then get the track, get back on track and continue doing that until we reach our destination.
As you fly through the trees, just because you already made a really good perception roll the other day earlier, you and Tink can easily kind of fly back up into the trees. And you kind of, scout ahead as you're, going forward, coming back. But as you fly back into this kind of air, you again can easily see these scratch marks again that you saw, kind of following this path along the trees, that have, so, there's a couple bent branches here and there. Nothing's fully broken, but you see these claw marks kind of along each of the trees, almost as one, maybe two, three creatures were kind of hopping from branch to branch, climbing along the trees.
Oh, it doesn't look like they were fighting. It just looks like somebody traversing these trees.
Yes. Okay. Quickly, almost hastily.
Hastily. I want to do another flyby, and I want to ask the bat through our translator here. Do you know of any other species that know about these rats or the dead bodies that travel in this direction?
Only me. Only Barbie sees them, I think. I don't think I see anyone else out here. I only see bodies here and there.
I indicate to Indigo that they are basically undisturbed and basically unfound at this point. I also turn to Buchanan and quietly say between the two of us that we don't know what we're walking into. If you would do me a favor and tend to Milo, we may come across something no child should have to look at.
Oh.
Understood.
I do also relate to the rest of the party the fact that the claw marks and the broken branches that I am seeing as I'm doing these sweeps, and to just be on the lookout. We don't know what's up in these trees.
Yeah, so as you guys continue on following this little bat through the woods, you start to approach something that Milo kind of catches at first, again with that kind of keen scent in the air, that awful foul smell that almost makes your nose burn, as you make your way to this kind of pseudo clearing in the woods, and you all I imagine Jarem's kind of leading the charge here as you kind of enter the clearing and just see bodies of rats, ripped apart, sliced up, half of a rat there, half of one there. It is a mess. There's maybe 7 to 8 rats dead, rotting, old corpses.
In one location?
Yep.
The second I see that, I'm grabbing Milo by the scruff and just, hey, look at that over there.
I give Buchanan a nod, and then I tell the rest of the party, stay close.
I want to do broader sweeps around the immediate area to see if there's anybody still lingering, any rats or anyone trying. The whole coming back to the scene. The suspect is always the one that comes back to the scene of crime type deal. I'm looking for those types of figures.
Give me a perception check.
While he's doing that perception check for what he's seeing, do you want me to go ahead and roll an investigation as I inspect corpses?
Yes, okay. Please.
I'm gonna try to wriggle out of Buchanan's hold and also do an investigation.
You are.
Give me.
Rough.
Buchanan, give me a strength. I will let Milo do a dexterity or a sleight of hand check to wiggle out while he tries to hold you in.
Yeah.
Not bad. I got a 12 on that perception.
So awesome, I have advantage on escaping from being grappled. So
I have advantage on grappling.
What's your roll? You go first.
That for just straight up strength.
Yep, just a strength roll.
21.
Wow.
Milo.
27.
Oh.
No.
Buchanan,
you know what? I could have gotten better than that, but I didn't want to actually hit you. So.
Do it. Hit a child.
I'm not my father.
Don't actually notice as you kind of you feel the wiggling, so you kind of just tighten, but not to hurt. You kind of just hold hold little Milo close, but you don't notice the fact that Milo has actually wiggled out of your arms and replaced his little body with a little piece of wood and has crawled back towards the party.
Oh my god.
The
The
classic.
second I notice, I go back and scruff him. Boy?
Yeah, as you scurry away, and right before you're caught, you do see the clearing, Milo. A quick glimpse. You don't see like anything detailed, but you definitely see like the sudden glimpse of like just these like laid out bodies that you've never really seen this kind of form of death before. It is visceral, yeah.
I mean, I can smell it, and for shrews, like, scent and sight are almost the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, immediately he knew what was going on. Like,
Right.
bothered by it,
Yeah.
sure, but definitely knew there were some bodies up in here.
Right. But if you're young enough, we could pass it off as somebody farted, and you don't have to. You still don't have to see.
That's a
just looking at
rank lingering fart.
You need to go to the doctor, dude. Jesus.
Yurium, did you get to 13 with it, or is just with the?
Well, I had a 2, so I wasn't sure if I had to roll 2. So I got the 13 on the first one.
Yes.
And then a paltry 3 on the second.
All right. That's all right.
Um,
I was gonna say, with your knowledge of battles, I was gonna give you advantage. So that's perfect. With that 13, what were you trying to assess? Are you just trying to look at what happened, trying to get an idea of how this fight went?
Well, first and foremost, yes. I can definitely ascertain that this appears certainly to look like the level of carnage that Orius would certainly deliver if he was ever attacked. I also want to, check. I want to see if there's any weapons that were being used. I want to see if there's any indication of like anything like disease or maybe like rabidness, because that's important to know. Mostly things like that. And I also want to check amongst them to see if there's any feathers or anything that may indicate that Orius has been injured in some way as well during the scuffle.
So with a 13, you're looking around, you're checking the bodies, you're looking them over. You do find they were armed. All of these rats do seem to have some form of swords. Many of them seem to have shields with them as well. And a couple even have bows on them. As you're looking through these bodies, I imagine you've fought alongside Orius in the past, and you've seen his battle tactics. You've seen how he's fought rats by your side, and you know this is kind of his signature attacks. You see talon marks on one. You see a large sword swing through another, and you can easily put together that he definitely fought here.
He was here.
Yes, and you can even like make out some scrapings along the ground of talons. And as you kind of look around, you don't find any kind of disease or anything. You don't seem to find any like rabies. You don't have a lot to test it out here to see, but you definitely have a pretty firm belief that there isn't any form of plague here, thankfully. But from the investigation, you do ascertain like the fact that he was here, and it seems as though he landed to fight.
Here is something else I would like to ascertain from what I'm seeing on the ground here, and that is I am looking for any indication of either stolen goods or evidence of the missing Night Riders.
Oh. You don't see that. Oh, right, them. I forgot about them. No, you don't seem to find any evidence of any Night Riders here. It does not. You don't see any like footprints of mice. You don't see any like traces of any kind of moths here. Does not look like they were here.
Okay.
Can I also do an investigation, or do I need to fight Buchanan?
You can, you know what? Give me a little investigation as you kind of scurry out, and Buchanan's kind of after you still. I'll let you do one.
Yay. 24.
Ooh. As like you kind of are scurrying about, kind of having Buchanan kind of chase you down to try to still trying to drag you away. You're kind of running around and looking at the ground as you go. You see a lot of the same that Jariem caught. A lot of the battle, you don't catch as much as like the battle tactics of Orius because you've never seen him fight, but you definitely can tell that a large bird took down these guys with some kind of large weapons that a large bird would wield. But you do discern different a little patch of feathers that doesn't look like they were very damaged, maybe just from a quick fluttering down from a landing, but are a kind of steely silvery gray, a couple to the side, and it seems like they've kind of blew off in a type of maybe a blow or perhaps some kind of swing at him. You feel as though that could easily be Orius's feather, that he was here, and you kind of see with that big investigation check a little trail of footprints as well as a couple feathers here and there going off towards the north.
Guys, there's some footprints. We should probably go north.
And Joe, remind me what you did you roll yet for any kind of perception checks? I know you were looking.
I was doing like sweeps for
Yes.
people that might be lingering,
Yep.
or like, I'm just trying to glean like broad information about the area, leads on potential like people that have been either frequently returning like to the scene of the crime, like stuff like that, or or anything of note. And I rolled a 13 on the perception.
All right. With a 13, you do see a type of point in the tree line because you're so high up.
Mhm.
Tink, would you also like to roll a perception because you were riding atop his back?
Yeah, I got a 7.
Never mind.
Advantage, maybe on
You
my
can give him
version?
advantage. I will let you give him advantage.
Okay, so I'll roll again.
Roll one more time.
Or wait, Tink? What is your perception bonus on your sheet?
How perceptive are you?
My perceptive bonus is +1.
Yeah, mine's +1 too. Okay, so I'll
Awesome.
we'll see if I do
Yeah.
any better.
Go ahead.
Nope.
Give it a roll.
13. 13 stands.
All right. Well, that's all right. As you guys are investigating on the ground from the treetops, as you guys kind of fly through, looking for it, you do find a point. You were kind of like looking over these like cracked branches, and as you got closer to this kind of carnage and scene of death, you do see a lot of the branches were starting to break, almost as if something, whatever was running across these branches, was like getting more frantic and a little less like dexterous. Like it looks like they were being a little more risky trying to get through these branches, and then you see just like this, like almost like this tunnel of broken branches from the treetops down, and those scratches stop, and it looks as though whatever came down through those trees took out whatever was running along those branches and down to that clearing. You don't see anything living.
Do I see any silver feathers caught in the trees of this massive fucking like gap in the tree line?
You see one. With a 13, you see one up there.
I'm gonna grab the feather, and I'm going to go down and report back to the party.
Guys, I have an unfortunate report to make on my findings. I found this feather. The problem is not that I found this feather. It is where I found this feather. And then I kind of just walk the party to where the massive gap. Up there is where I found this feather. And I point to the massive fucking gap in the branches and stuff where I found it. Where it's apparent that something huge swooped down and took whatever was fighting up there.
You use a lot of words except for when it's convenient.
I understand the situation, and I ask if I may trade places with Tink so that I may fly up with Indigo to inspect where this area is, and maybe inspect further these any claw marks or anything as well to find out more.
Yeah, you
I guessed. Go.
you were able to trade places. As you kind of fly up, give me a little perception check. Jariem.
Yep.
Oh, so is it me and you now?
Yep.
Okay.
You're kind of
Gotcha.
flying up as long as you're cool with that.
Cool. Yep.
So it
All
doesn't
right.
look like I'm gonna find out
No.
too much.
You don't find more past that. I wouldn't say you'd have to make a roll for this, is the fact that you do see this kind of large like clearing in these branches, and that's about Orius' size. Like you can ascertain that he could have been the thing that dive bombed that. It seems to be his size to go through these branches, and it's not unusual for him to have a higher advantage to fly down and fight whatever he's hunting.
I acknowledge this, and then I also acknowledge the fact that though it would certainly appear to be the size of Orion, there are also other avians about Orion's size that may also try to pick a fight with him. However, I am comforted by the fact that even from this vantage point, I don't see any evidence of a corpse or anything that indicates that, obviously that he was like killed in battle or anything.
Yep.
So I understand that, and me and Indigo, we rejoin the others, because that's really all that I can ascertain from this discovery. Once we are back down on the ground, I want to ask Tink, and I will ask Buchanan that if they wouldn't mind assisting me with just doing a quick once over of what's here, and if we can gather any supplies or anything that maybe would be useful to us from these corpses, like any like medical supplies or anything like that.
Yeah.
And before I do that, I approach our little bat friend, and I give him a special. It's a ranger's token coin, and instruct him to go to Manus, and that there's going to be a building or whatever to a trusted a physician who may be able to assist him with getting that wing fixed and looked at.
Yeah. You kind of find him, like you kind of look around and realize you haven't seen him in a while. Like in your kind of investigation, this kind of shock of seeing this thing, you haven't seen this little bat in a while, but then you kind of look over to the side and he is devouring down a bunch of arms, a bunch of rat arms he's collected. Like he is going ham on the blood in them. Like he is covered in rat blood as he looks up.
A treasure? For me? For Barbie?
No treasure, friend. Medical, and I do the best that I can in bat speak.
Yeah.
Tell him where to go and whatnot. I'm also not particularly appalled by what I see, despite the grotesque nature of the description, because I've seen this shit before.
Yeah. You know that this is kind of just a bat feeding, as he kind of like looks over this coin. Just he looks like surprised as he kind of like looks up to you.
You give me a gift. You are friend to Barbie. You are friend to me.
I give him a nod, and I let him know that with that coin they'll know I sent him.
Yeah, he begins kind of like like taking some like really shitty rope and begin wrapping up a bunch of rat arms and kind of like putting them on his back like a large backpack of sticks and twigs, but they're arms. And he's like,
I will go to town immediately, and I will talk to them.
I give him another nod, and as he gathers the arms, I catch a whiff of some of the rotten corpse smell again, and gag just a tiny bit as I turn back to the rest of the party.
and you kind of see him start to kind of skitter away, and he kind of turns and looks at all of you with these kind of like bright smile on his face, and gives like a large wave with his one claw on his bat wing, and you see him scurry off into the underbrush.
Bye, Barbie.
I double check with the party and ask if anybody has located any valuable items that we may be able to use.
Whoever would like to look around for items, give me an investigation check while that was happening.
I'll do it. I feel like I've been a bit
17.
of a lump on a log.
Ooh, nice. Dirty
3. Beat that bitch.
Nice.
15.
I'll give another roll there for that since I was investigating, but for those
Yeah,
specific things. I'll
just-
give it a
yep.
roll.
For all of you guys looking around, what were those numbers again? Sorry, one more time.
30, 20.
3, 30, 20, 12. Yeah, you
15.
guys kind of search these gross corpses, whatever left of them, and you don't find much that's really like exceptional. You do find a collection of money on each of them. You find about like 12 gold on these little guys, which is a hefty price around here. And you only find you find some long swords and some shields. Nothing better than what you guys are already wielding. And I'm gonna make a roll real quick. Just because you said you were looking for any kind of bandages or anything. That is all you find, unfortunately.
Okay.
Anything that like indicates that they're a part of some sort of band, like any unique insignia.
Oh.
I also was going to ask that, or ask if like. Go ahead. Go. I'm sorry.
Oh no. That's it. Just insignias,
Yeah.
bands, like identifying marks with the associated.
Yes.
I
As
was
you're
also
going
to real
you
quick.
go
I'm sorry.
ahead.
I was just gonna say I was also going to double down on that and just add that I would also be looking to see if any of it appears like stolen or thieved.
I will say it does not look very thieved. It looks very worn. Like you've seen rat folks kind of cobble together gear. Doesn't look very nice. It definitely looks like it's been used or slapped together best it can. And as the both of you kind of go around, check each of these corpses, there's not much of an insignia, but you do recognize, well, you don't recognize, but you notice a kind of pattern on each of these rats. As you see on their backs are claw marks in the same exact direction. Every single one that you see, they have these kind of like 4 claw marks going diagonally from their left shoulder to their kind of like their right hip, going straight down their back on each of them. You've never seen anything quite like this, but it is, and it's definitely not from the battle because this looks healed over. It looks like this is like almost like a brand, but it's not with heat. It definitely looks like something clawed this onto them maybe, I don't know, a couple months ago, maybe. Hard to tell now.
I recognize, like.
Sure, yeah. You know what? Give me a history roll, history check. Jariem, because you found these as well. If you want to do a history check, I will let you as well.
I was also going to say, like, I would assume that if I'm not familiar with these, I may have seen something similar before. And asked if you want me to do that.
Give me a history check. This one's just a flat roll.
Okay, so not much.
Yeah.
Not much on my part.
7. And what did you get, Joe?
13.
This doesn't look like much. You've seen branding in some groups. Not many rats generally do it, just because rats are very fluctuant in their groups. They don't tend to stick with one group very often. Sometimes they will break away, then reform with different rats. They're not very uniform beings. They're very unpredictable and dangerous in that kind of sense, because of the fact that they don't have much of an allegiance to one large rat. Usually, sometimes they'll have kind of a leader rat for a group, but it doesn't stay long. So it's odd to see something like this, but you don't recognize something like this.
So you're saying that they don't typically have what has been colloquially termed as a rat king, as a typical leader?
Yes.
They don't typically have one.
No.
Interesting. Okay. I relay that information to the party.
It seems like they're unify some kind. I understand that the labor movements are big these days, unionizing. I don't usually see union workers branding themselves in this type of way, but you know.
I agree with Indigo, and I say that I have done many battles with similar rat folk before, and that they tend to be more tribal in nature.
Mhm.
This is something entirely different, and it could or could not be big. And also considering that they are quite literally using scarification, I'm not going to say that it sounds like it's anything particularly good.
That's pretty fair.
I will ask. I would like to ask Indigo again if he wouldn't mind taking to the skies and doing a little bit more scouting. Can you determine, perhaps, from what direction either that this band of rats came from, and or following the space in the trees, maybe if you can find more of a clue of where Orius may have headed?
I will say, with an investigation earlier, Milo did spot footprints leading a certain direction north.
Okay.
I did say we should go north.
Yes, you did, and I thank
Yep.
you, Milo.
That was a
Shouldn't
while
have seen
ago,
this,
so
but I appreciate
no
It's
worries.
okay. It's okay.
I ask the party if they are all prepared and if they are ready to continue heading north in the direction of these footprints.
Let us go north.
Yeah.
So we will continue, and everybody stick together.
Milo, have you ever flown on the back of a bird before?
No.
Would you like to have a ride?
Yes,
I could
please.
use some extra eyes in the air.
I have those.
Wonderful. You'll be perfect for the job. Let us go.
Yes.
Bukes, you okay if I look after Milo for a little bit?
It's Buck.
I'm sorry. Fuck.
He's not my kid. Why would I care?
Just checking in.
He's
And I
not?
just like
Tink, I have several questions for you.
I just kind of give Indigo just kind of has a little bit of a shit-eating grin, and he just kind of gives Bucks a little playful punch in the shoulder. And then I pick Milo up and I put him on my shoulders, and then we start doing our swoops. And
This is
You
Milo.
can't
This is
even
like
reach my shoulder.
Damn.
That's just factual. Blue jays are like 10 inches tall and badgers are like 30.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, then I fly up. It takes a little bit more effort, but I do a little flap to get you.
To fucking get you.
Just fucking volleyball spikes you back to the ground.
Oh. Okay.
Oh no.
Alright.
I don't like that art.
That's
like
a little
that one.
scary.
Milo,
That's
this is the
insane.
highest, this is the coolest thing you've ever had in your life. You've never ridden atop a bird. You've heard stories of this, like growing up, that like there are warriors that ride their bird companions into battle. And you've never done something like this. And this is like mind blowing for you to be flying in through the air.
My hands are gripped so tight on my flower hat so it doesn't blow off, and I'm just like the whole time.
As you guys continue heading north, are you guys scouting my aerial team?
Yes.
Of course.
All
Always
right.
scout. Always be
Um,
scouting. ABS. Abs.
Are you flying it carefully now that you've seen bodies? Are you guys trying to be stealthy up there?
Yeah, I'm trying to be more careful while I'm up there. Yeah, I think. Do I want to be stealthy? I think
That's a you question.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and be stealthier and be more careful with my scouting here. So I'll probably like hug, to put on a show for Milo, and to also have the dual purpose of being stealthy. I'll hug the tree lines, and I'll maybe do some exciting like dashes between branches to try and keep myself as much as possible.
So I'm gonna have you do a stealth. You go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, one has to ask, how does one be stealthy when you have a giggling child riding on top of you?
That's true. Well, I'm going to have Joe. You're gonna roll stealth, Joe, and I'm gonna let Milo. You can also roll stealth. And it'll be kind of a small group stealth check between the two of you. Joe, I'm also gonna have you roll an acrobatics check as you do all these fancy maneuvers.
Oh God. Okay. Okay. Thank God that's also Dex. We're good. All right. So stealth first.
God. I thought
Yep.
that was a 1. It's not.
Yeah. You go first.
I rolled a 7, so 18.
Rogue.
I'm gonna punch
you.
11 on my stealth. So.
Awesome.
Okay.
So you guys are flying through the trees. Give me an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics check. 10 acrobatics.
It's cool. You don't hit any branches, and it's not the most like extravagant thing. Like if Riga was up there, she'd probably make fun of you. But it's pretty cool. It's especially for Milo's like first time in the sky. It's pretty awesome as you're ducking through branches here and there. And as you're flying ahead of them a little bit, the rest of the group's kind of tailing from behind. You spot as it's starting to get kind of sunset. It's starting to get a little darker outside. You can see through the tree lines a light kind of flickering of a firelight. It's pretty large, but it's a distance. It's like 120, 140 feet out from you right now, but you can see a light through the trees.
I was gonna say that Riga is like on the lower tree branches, flipping and jumping and like doing some insane circus acrobat tricks on the lower branches. So we've got the low crew on the ground, the medium doing weird shit in the trees, and then the high on the top of the tree.
Yep. Go ahead and give me a little acrobatics check, Riga. Just with advantage because of your silly littleness.
21.
It's awesome. It almost like Milo, you're like, this is really cool, and you like look back and see Riga doing all this cool stuff, and you're like, that's a little cooler. As you like you are flying atop a really cool blue jay, and you look back and see this raccoon doing some cool ass shit, and you're like, oh man, I wish I was a raccoon a little bit. But if you choose to say that, that's up to you. But you do catch this glint of light in the distance, kind of flickering firelight. Looks pretty large for like maybe a bonfire of some kind, but you can't make out any like town or camping. Can't make out what it's from.
It looks like some sort of bonfire type deal.
Yeah, from this distance, because of how far out it is, it's got to be a pretty big fire.
Okay. I'm going to do a dive bomb and say,
Milo, hold on tight. We're going to relay some important information to the party.
And I'm going to do a little dive bomb over their heads, relay the fact that there's about 150 feet out, there's a bonfire ahead, and I'm going to take Milo, and we're gonna go to that bonfire, since we imagine we'll get there fairly quickly with the fly speed. So,
ground team, are you guys just want to keep following in the distance? Do you want to try to like sneak in? Are you gonna try to keep it back? What's your plan?
I think we're going to continue the path that we're heading essentially in the same direction regardless. We just want to keep paying it. I'm not going to speak for everybody, but mostly myself. But I'm keeping trying to keep attention even with the dying light of just like what's surroundings, any specific markings, indications of anything. And I'm also cracking a brief, ever so slightly amused smile at Milo's joy of flying on Indigo, because I remember my days as a young cadet and getting my first flight school lessons.
Oh. Yeah, so you guys kind of keep a distance, but you're still keeping an eye out as you move along, as little recon aerial team kind of starts flying in. And you start to get closer and closer to this firelight, and as you get closer, you start to see kind of bits of detail in the distance. How high do you think you'd be right now? Like I know we were saying kind of like 60 feet-ish, or are you a little lower?
I'm probably doubling that feat because
all right.
I'm recognizing that I'm going near like an active area. Yeah. So I want to be not as visible. So I'm probably gonna be like, so maybe if I'm at the base of the tree lines where I see a lot of the branches before breaking, maybe I'm like at the top of the tree lines now trying to look down on the bonfire.
All right, yeah. So as you fly forward, you start to get some more kind of features. You start to see a large crude wall kind of built into the side of a cliffside. Well, not like a huge cliffside. Like it's more of kind of a large, sharp hill. You see these large wooden walls kind of crudely built into the ground. And you see a large gate that it kind of like houses in this small encampment. What kind of catches your eye first, kind of worries you, are these two beings standing out front. There's kind of two little guards posts out front of the encampment. You know what? Actually, I can just move you guys to my map as I describe this. Let me just make sure things are hidden for you guys.
I'm the map. I'm the map.
Now, I didn't get to switch over to cool stuff yet, so you're going to see some kind of prototype stuff. But I'm going to move you guys to a map. Does everyone see the map?
Oh, yes, I see the
So,
map.
allow me to describe this little drawn map. These kind of big old solid things are giant wooden walls that are kind of guarding out this large like encampment built into this kind of cliffside wall, which is this kind of black line here. You see these two kind of rectangles here and here, which are almost like kind of like large, tall guard posts, maybe 20 feet in the air. These are all tree line here and here. These are big old green circles. And you see what kind of catches your eye first are these two beings here and here. Standing guard are these two armed rats. Fairly well armored. Again, very crudely built armor that you can kind of see. And you see them wielding those same kind of weapons, a shield in one hand, a sword in another, and the one that's on the ground. And the one that's in the tower is wielding a bow as they kind of look out into the woods. Not thinking to look high up. But I'm going to roll perception checks.
Oh, God. No! I have a child on board!
Oh my god, you have to get a tramp stamp that says baby on board.
Baby on board.
Okay.
Oh god.
I can't tell if I see my joke or the number.
Can I see some quick stealth checks real quick? I'll let you guys, as you guys kind of catch eyes on these things. From the two that are ahead, the two that are in the sky, I'll let Milo give a check.
Can I just give Milo advantage? But I know I gotta.
Yeah, you're kind of the bigger body here. Evil at 12.
I think I rolled an 11. Yes.
Or no, sorry, I thought you were the 12 there, but that's still not great.
Still not good. 11.
Okay, so
I did roll a 26.
All right, you are very well hidden atop his back. as you're kind of flying through the trees, you kind of catch eyes on one of these guys. They're looking straight out into the woods, kind of looking around, and you kind of like you kind of jolt for a second, not expecting to see something like alive, as you kind of flutter back into a branch, and you hear it snap, and you're high up in the air. You are like about like 100 feet in the air, but one of the rats kind of looks up. The one with the bow looks up, and you can't really hear from this distance, but you kind of like can just barely see its mouth kind of move to its friend, and its friend looks up at you, and they kind of just sit there and stare at you for a second, and you kind of see a movement.
Does it seem like they're going back to signal? Does it seem like they're going back into the fortress itself?
No, they are standing still.
We're on a tree,
like
correct?
You're on a what?
We're on a tree, correct? We're on like a tree branch.
You guys can be in trees as you're kind of moving along. If you guys would like to be like some 20 feet off the ground, I'd allow that as ground teams moving. Oh, sorry, you two. Sorry, I thought you were part of ground team. Sorry, Kyle. You guys are high in the sky.
Okay.
You guys are like 100 feet off the ground right now.
Gotcha. I'm gonna say,
Indy, if you land, I could get up and go sneak over there.
Okay.
As you whisper that, does a 28 hit you?
So you got to roll that at disadvantage.
All right. Well, I rolled at advantage.
So it's
because his friend gave advantage. So it's just a flat roll, which was still the 28 because with the other roll it'd be a 6. It's the first roll that came in with the advantage.
28. Yeah, 28 is definitely gonna hit.
both
Oh, right. Oh wait, no. That is does a 22 hit?
So we're still hitting me here.
Oh, right.
16.
Good.
Thankfully, he doesn't get additions to this.
is it like both of us? Or just
No, it does not hit you, Milo. It's only hitting, it's going right into your chest.
Oh, Jesus.
As you are taking a D8 of damage. Okay, that's not bad. You take 7 piercing damage as an arrow suddenly sinks its way into your chest.
Okay, Milo, let's go back home.
And you hear kind of like the distant shouting of rat folk.
Oh no, Milo, do you feel how confident do you feel in your abilities right now to sneak in with the rat folk at the fortress?
I'm so sneaky.
You're so sneaky.
I'm so sneaky.
Oh, we're so sneaky. Okay, are we just enabling bad decisions on both of our parts right now?
No, I think this is okay.
This is okay. Okay, I'm gonna trust you, and I'm going to. You know what? I'm actually gonna position. I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna increase my altitude here to 150 feet. Now, I'm gonna go to the back of the fortress, and I'm gonna place Milo somewhere in the back of the fortress.
As you fly around, I imagine the ground troop is closing in. You're gonna take it. Another shot's gonna come at you as you fly.
Oh Jesus!
With disadvantage. Advantage.
Thank God.
Does an 18 hit you?
An 18 still hits me. Not good.
That was hey, if it makes you feel any better, that was a nat 20 that I got disadvantage on. The first roll was a nat 20.
Okay.
Oh no, that's 8 damage. Piercing damage.
Okay, we're all right. I take another hit in the body.
As you kind of fly over and you land, you're going over to like the cliffside.
Yeah. So if there is I guess it's the cliffside. So you said that this fortress is kind of on a hill. Sort of.
So like this kind of like here is just like a sharp like rocky cliff.
Okay. Oh, okay, I gotcha. So
Yep.
this is literally like this base is precariously perched on a cliff.
No, built into a cliffside. So like these are just sharp, straight up walls.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm trying to find a place in the back area of. So can I indicate here? I don't know if I can.
And hold,
If you click and
put a little
hold, yep,
ping.
it'll do a little ping. You see my little pings? Yeah.
There we go.
So like that's like, yep.
I want to see if there's any, stealthy position in the back of the fortress here that I could drop Milo off safely.
So as you fly over, this is going a little late, so we're gonna actually end it pretty soon, if that's okay with everyone, because I know don't want to run you guys too late, so we'll just do a second part. But I'm gonna do a little cliffhanger here. As you fly over, you take these 2 shots as these 2 rats watch you fly over, and you hear them start to kind of. They didn't sound as like concerned. They sound more like they were shouting to other rats, just like a hey, we got someone outside, someone fucking around. But then you start kind of flying around, and you hear them get a little more frantic, a little more like an alarm. As you fly kind of over, you're still very high up. You can see into the base as I imagine ground teams kind of starting to arrive. I'm going to show you what you see inside as you fly over. And Milo sees this too. Showing up on
roll.
Yep, this will be showing up on roll 20.
Okay.
As you fly over, you see a pretty large group of rats inside, all armed. Same kind of idea. Bing. Can you guys see those 4 that just appeared?
Mm-hmm.
Sort of. Yes. Yes. I can see
Awesome. So you see those. You see these.
Okay.
As you see, these little blue squares are like tents, large tents that you see rats start to kind of crawl out of and look up, and see you flying over. You see also down there. Again, from your position, I won't make you do a perception because of how well lit it is with that bonfire light. You can also see a small cage. You can't see very well what's in it. But you do see something down there. In a cage. Right there. A small cage. Can't make out what's in there because of how high up you are, but there's definitely a cage with something in it. You can see from the shadows.
I see a token. I see something. Someone's in there.
You also see, as you're flying over, these kind of like mounds of bodies off towards the back. Like these, like kind of like rat corpse, like a bunch of rat corpses. But then you see one kind of like almost like a back muscle move and raise up. As you realize this pile of corpses is not just a pile, but one large rat. And then you see the other one stand up. As you see 2 very large rats rise from the ground. And the most concerning of all, as you fly through, and all these rats are looking up at you. The rest of the ground team, I imagine, is making their way towards the gate now, or maybe like kind of like off to the edge of the gates. You see against the wall in the back a large body, kind of splayed out, chains wrapped around it, some rope tied it to the back wall of this cliffside. A wing, large, steely, silvery gray feathers, is sprawled out against the wall. And you see the body of an owl hanging against the wall. Its other wing is gone. You can't make out any specific damage. You see that it is bloodied, and you see that there is entire right wing is gone.
Oh my god.
As you fly over and go to land a more better position, we're going to end this session here.
Oh man.
Hey, I think we made a mistake. Maybe I think maybe
we made a mistake.
I was like, I'm gonna shoot these guys. They're gonna leave, and you're like, we're gonna go in the back. I was like, Okay, this is about to get bad.
Unfortunately, you are a minor, Milo. I was technically the adult. So you didn't make a mistake. I made a mistake.
Being the straight guy in this group, I am regretting letting this happen as well.
Yeah, if you're
The
really
ground team
think
hasn't-
about it, it's his fault.
The ground team, I imagine, arrives and only sees the front and doesn't see what's inside. Only Milo and Indigo see this scene, and the camera kind of pans to this large corpse of this large owl, and the screen goes black.
Oh, man.
Thank you so much to the amazing love of my life, Zach, for running this game tonight. I don't know about you guys, but I had an amazing time.
This was so much fun.
I cannot wait for our sequel of The World of the Big and the Small. Thank you everybody who came out to join us. Thank you to the players. Thank you most of all to our DM and our artists. And we'll see you guys next time on Second Shout Studios Constructive Crit. Night, guys!
Good
Good night.